What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. So, in my previous review of Kamen Rider Gavv Episode 5, I have mentioned Shouma's dad. So, with that said, I am going to talk about Shouma's dad, aka Bush Stomach, and how he kind of affects the story. So, while I did mention this part specifically when I talked about episode 5, I'm going to, you know, talk about this in more detail. So, this is going to be like the heavy spoiler edition, but again, I'm just gonna focus on Shoma's dad. So if you want to see more, or if you want to know about episode 5, I highly suggest that you watch the episode first before coming back to this video. Otherwise, enjoy the spoilers then. So with that said, let's go. So Bush Stomach was the head of the Stomach family, and of course he is father to Rango and the rest of the siblings, and of course Shoma, his illegitimate son. So what we do know about Bush is that the other siblings mentioned that he is quote unquote dead. So I'm not buying that just yet. So they may think he's dead, but he could be into hiding. So that's just my speculation, but I really feel like he is going to come back and surprise everybody. And definitely this is going to, affect Shoma most especially. But we'll get into other theories about that later on. So stay tuned. So we do see Bush in a flashback, especially when Shoma remembers his childhood. Now, from the way he treats Shoma and Michiru, so Shoma's mother, if you guys don't know yet, so you might think that Bush isn't gonna win any Dad of the Year awards anytime soon, but he actually has a perfect reason for doing so. Now, we don't know so far the circumstances as to how Bush and Michiru had met, but for some reason he has decided to take her into the Grand Newt world, where presumably she was already, pregnant with Shoma at that time. So he decides to take her into, uh, again, the Grand Newt world, and you might notice that Shoma and Michiru have been kept locked up for quite a long time. And the way he treats, again, Michiru and Shoma isn't really the definition of a great dad, at least how we see it superficially. Now, if you guys remember how the Grand Newt world works in Kamen Rider Gavv, again, this has a perfect reasoning behind it. So we do know that the Grand Newts, they target happy people, right? So the happier you are, once you get caught, the tastier you are, and the higher the quality they can produce the dark snacks out of you. So in order to prevent that from happening to Michiru and Shoma, so Bush probably, well, he personally may not want to do this himself, but in order to protect his family from turning into said snacks or spices, as they would call it. So basically, humans are spice that make the dark snacks tastier. So we could say that humans aren't really the main ingredient, but again, the happier you are, the tastier you get. So in order to prevent Michiru and Shoma from turning into spices, so he intentionally keeps them unhappy. So again, you would really feel sorry for Michiru and Shoma, but this is how Bush is protecting them, because once they get so happy, they're going to be easier targets for the other Granules, especially Bush's other children, so Shoma's older siblings. Now, what we could say about uh, you know Bush in this regard. So I did mention how Shoma's character development is kind of shown in episode 5. So Shoma almost had the same kind of idea with his father, uh, with regards to how they perceive happiness with other humans, and like how they decide to protect those people. So again, Shoma decides to let people be happy and just uh, like defeat anyone who tries to get in the way of people being happy. While Bush, on the other hand, prevents people from being happy in order to protect them. So if you look at the earlier shots and scenes from episode 5, Shoma almost had the same idea as his dad, but he realizes that it wasn't the right way of going around things. He decides to let people be happy, right? But Bush intentionally decides to make people unhappy to protect them. So again, it's a really interesting contrast between father and son, and it it shows how it affects Shoma's development as a character, which is very very nice. So we also see that Bush asks his uncle Dente to basically perform a surgery on Shoma to make him stronger. So he does explain this like it's his way of protecting Shoma. So again, Shoma being half granute, so he was kind of immune to becoming a spice in a way. But again, mentioning how Dente, kind of modified Shoma's body, so he wasn't really sure how to do or how to power up Shoma. But again, he lacked the understanding, I think. But when Shoma discovered, human snacks, so uh, it was actually the key to unlocking his powers to become Kamen Rider Gavv, and the rest is history. So going back to uh, Bush's presumed death. So again, the other siblings have mentioned this many times, but again, we could say that there are two possible scenarios of Bush's quote unquote death. So we could say that the other siblings had ordered their agents to hunt down Bush, and they apparently killed him, or he kind of faked his death. But either way, so we could say that Bush intentionally, pretends to be dead so that he can enact a master plan somewhere down the line. So we could see him come back in a future episode, probably somewhere halfway or maybe a bit later into the show. And this is where he would probably come with a power up for Shoma, or in some way or another, he transforms into a Kamen Rider. Who knows? These things are possible, but this is how I can see it going for now. But in the process, I think, by doing so, Bush actually loses his life protecting Shoma. So again, this is just my own theory, or this is my own prediction for how Bush's story is going to end. But nonetheless, I do see him coming back in the future to really give us an impactful moment with Shoma, as a character, how he grows as a Kamen Rider. Again, probably with a new form or power up somewhere, but that's how I see it going. So, what do you guys think about Bush Stomach? So, is he right for doing the things he did to Shoma and his mother? Or, do you completely disagree? So, what could he have done? Let me know down in the comment section. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you next time. Bye.